birthday. It's not a birthday. We're doing donations though.
It's donation day.
It feels like a birthday.
It sort of feels like Christmas.
Giftings.
So we're gonna start with a scotch. This is from Josh and Jess Haygood.
Calling an audible?
Yeah.
Calling an audible.
Okay.
I'm not there yet.
Okay.
Gotta get the blood puff.
I'm so far from there, I might need to kill a man before I get there.
That's an episode.
Yeah.
Just a fight to the death.
Yeah.
Do some, I don't know how to do calisthenics.
Hang on a second.
I don't know how to do calisthenics. It's just awkward stretching.
Josh and Jess, you don't understand the last 45 minutes from me, but I'm gonna need a drink before we magnificent bastard you.
Yeah, before the bastard.
Yeah, I can't. Right now,
Did somebody get stuck in traffic?
Right now, I'm in a bad place.
Did you get stuck in traffic?
No, that's after I got here. I'm in a bad place. I need a drink, and I love Clynelish, and I love Scotch, and I've been excited about this for weeks, and I don't want this moment ruined for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, all of those people right now.
Fuck
them all.
I don't know who we're talking about.
Who are driving me nuts right now, and I'm just gonna say thank you to Josh and Jess.
Just savor the moment.
Bring me back home.
Damn, that's nice. Yeah, kind of lovely. Kind of lovely.
Come on, it's so good. All right, are we ready now?
Yeah. Josh and Jess, would you magnificent bastard?
Seriously, come on, I'm gonna need. I know we got a lot of whiskey.
Are you getting there?
I know we got a lot of whiskey ahead of us, but I'm gonna need another pour.
We got this. It's the end of the day. It's the end of the day.
Okay.
Home stretch.
I know it's not. Okay, so remember, Clynelish, and by its Clynelish, is lightly peated Highland malt.
Okay.
Right. A lot of their whiskey ends up in Johnny Walker bottlings.
Mm-hmm.
This distiller's version is, if I remember correctly, matured in second fill Oloroso.
Yeah.
Or in Oloroso.
Lightly peated Highland malt. So I'm not getting. It's got to be a really, really light peat.
Wow, this is a
because this is buttery. This is butterscotch. But I say buttery specifically because I'm almost getting like a fruity Irish butter note thread.
Yeah, this is a 15-year-old special edition.
Oh, really?
Distiller's edition.
It's really rich and fruity. Those are the words I'm going for. I can't find the light peat. I can find some really rich, fruity notes.
So the Clynelish has an interesting history. They opened up,
nice butter.
And then they closed. They ran side by side of two versions of Clynelish, and then they all shut down. And then it reopened for about 20 years, less than 20, 15, 13, and it was named Brora. Now, people who know Scotch know Brora because it's one of the most highly sought after single malts on the planet that's almost impossible to get your hands on. And when you do find it, it's freakishly expensive. It closed, and then this sort of took its place.
Super oily.
This distillery, not really, this is not Brora I've never tried Brora. This is not, my understanding, doesn't taste like Brora, but this is the distillery that sort of effectively replaced it.
Stays with you. This rich, fruity sweetness just fills the entire mouth. It doesn't stay in any particular place. It's just boom, maximum volume. Then it drifts away for a moment, and then the aftertaste springs back pretty intensely. And it's that oil that just stays with you a nice long time.
Yeah, it does cling a little, which makes it kind of wonderful, and it makes the pepper notes kind of pop out a little bit more.
But I
think that there's
a full envelopment is what we're saying. Envelopment.
Yeah, it just sort of wraps around you.
Yeah.
I am getting a weird kind of peppermint note in there, but like a light chocolate peppermint. Like over the last week, I was at this event and they had this little bowl of candies and they looked like chocolate and it has green stripes on them.
Yeah.
They were hard candy, they weren't chewables.
Okay.
You'd suck on them, right? And it was chocolate mint. And normally chocolate mint's like Andes, which is like, whoa, that's sweet, right? But this was like mostly minty with a hint of chocolate. That's what this is reminding me of.
It's like
kind of mint, but butterscotch, a little bit of grass and floral notes.
Yes. Yeah, I'll go looking for grass, but floral, fruity, and then I'm getting some like a sugared fruit.
Yeah, dark honeyed almost.
Don't let the lightly peated fool you. This isn't, earthy, briny, smoky, meaty at all.
Neither is it overly bright and shiny.
Right.
It feels
round.
Mid-rangey, very mid-range.
No, it feels very rounded, but still very thick and robust, velvety in its envelopment.
Oh man, we gotta move on.
I just can't get him to cringe.
The next one is 2 different bottlings from Joy Caves and Brian Anderson. Great Lakes and Hooker's Bourbon. Okay, and they wrote us a little note that just said, we're really glad to be a part of everything. You guys are awesome. We found you. So they're on the Patreon. They're not sure they're gonna make it to the opening, but either way, they're excited.
Thank you.
So Joy and Brian.
It's your turn.
my turn?
I'll do it. I'll totally do it.
Okay.
Joy Brian Anderson, you may do your best.
Sometimes you just need your friends to carry some of the load. And just right now is that day.
Yeah, heavy, he's my hobbit.
Just right now. Well, I'm gonna read about them both. So both of these. This is bottled by Prohibition Spirits. This is Californian, I think. It is. It's Sonoma. So, and that one's actually from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They should be extremely different because this is a couple that opened up effectively a winery that was making limoncello and spirits like this.
Yeah.
And then they also started sourcing bourbon and finishing it in wine casks. So this is actually...
You're gonna prefer the Hookers.
Really?
To the Still and Oak.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna start with the Hookers. This is...
You know how I know this? Because you love hookers.
This is...
The precedent has been set.
It really is.
You love hookers.
They're not saying where this was distilled. So they're sourcing Kentucky bourbon and 7-year-old, and they're putting it in 9 months into Pinot Noir barrels. This is a 54% corn, 46 rye. Ooh.
You know what?
Ooh. Ooh.
So I'll trade you.
Ooh.
I'll trade you.
No, you're gonna need a little more. Hang on. This. Usually that long in a wine barrel, I would think that would sort of overcome it and ruin it.
I don't know if you can see on the close-up
you.
camera the redness of this.
Oh yeah, no, you can tell.
It's definitely in a
Oh,
wine.
you're talking to them. I can tell. Oh yeah, there it is. There's that green pine sap note, that raw leather.
Yes, that's why I knew you were gonna like.
Yeah, I'm out.
Hookers more. But
okay, wait, I didn't even try to sip of it.
But on the sip though, it doesn't take you to sour funky land nearly to the extent that you expect. Just give it a chance.
Man, it's so young.
Go past the nose. Give it a chance.
I don't think I can do it.
Sour funky land of magic.
It's not as sour as it smells, but it's...
But it's not as nice.
And that's disappointing because I really love their label. I love their bottle. I love what they're trying to do. I love that they're doing 53 gallons and aging it themselves. I love everything about their choices. I just really don't like that.
No, you know what? I'm going to say it's not bad. You say
Yay! Resounding success. All right.
You say it's bad. I say it's not bad. There is that note that we don't like, but it takes me up to the edge of. I would start pushing back pretty aggressively, pretty quickly on the green, the sappy note. It's like a young woody note, but it takes me right up there, and then it gives me something different. It takes me right up to the edge.
Couldn't get past it.
It's like there's a chain link fence, and there's a very smelly rabid dog
on the other side
that we have a bad relationship.
Yeah, it's just right there. Yeah.
It's not a healthy relationship. And it drags me up to the fence, and then it presses my face up against the fence, and the dog's like...
But never quite gets you?
But it doesn't really get me.
Okay.
And as my face is pressed against the fence, it gives me a little dose of something.
Just get you.
A little pat on the ass.
Just a little ass pat.
A little pat on the ass.
And you're like, I'm divided here. I'm not really sure how to feel right now.
I like what's going on here, not so much here.
Not so much up here.
But there's things going on that I do like.
No, this is like tobacco.
Yeah.
And
well, more sweet. Sweet.
Well, aromatic tobaccos, right? It's cherried and candied. The wine is definitely heavily influential.
Very, very present. Yeah, give the notes on that.
The bourbon, the aftertaste, to me, has the aftertaste of a Pinot, which is really odd. I'm not sure what to do with that. Usually, a bourbon like this will leave me with a lingering, dry, oaky aftertaste. This gives me a Pinot aftertaste.
So to actually give specific notes on the Still and Oak, sweet, sour wood, and then beyond that, there's that funk we often talk about, but it's not nearly as intense on the taste as it is on the nose. Did you just finish that Hookers?
Oh,
you
dude.
really like that Hookers.
Dude, I really like this bourbon.
Okay.
I would keep this in my house, just like as a drinking bourbon.
Okay.
I really like it.
I got
Not a huge fan of the label. All right, we're moving on.
The
2
mod.
more whiskeys from a single person. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Now, I'm pretty sure these are actually gifts from the distillery. I'm trying to remember where Rebecca told me she was gonna, who Rebecca is. So there's a chance these were given to us by Smooth Ambler. If that's the case, we're always pretty objective. But Rebecca, I think I'm ready.
Go for it. You got this.
Ready?
I believe in you.
Ready, both of them?
I believe you can fly.
These are from Rebecca Loudermilk. I'm actually, based on what I read about these.
You can bastard this girl.
That sounds really wrong.
Do you like
All right, Rebecca Loudermilk, you magnificent bastard. Come on, you gotta give me some.
You're getting. I said not bad.
Ah.
Like the Still and Oak, not bad. You took me up to the fence, gave me a pat on the ass. There was things I liked about it. Do you take the entire top part off?
I do because I don't like it. It bugs me that there's a remnant there. It bothers me.
I get to the point where it's no longer in the way. Now I'm moving on so I can be efficient.
This one's not so bad because it's not foil. I've cut my thumb on the remains of foil
so I can
pieces.
be efficient with my time.
This, I'm gonna start, let's do one at a time this time. Wait.
Wait.
Let's do one at a time this time.
Look, well, on the inside here.
Yeah, a little residue.
Yeah, residue from the...
Don't pour that yet. We're gonna start with one and do the other. Put that bottle down. No. This, because it's confusing for me to try to keep up with both notes at the same time.
I got it.
This is a wheated bourbon.
Like a steel trap.
This is West Virginia, 71 corn, 21 wheat, 8% barley.
Wheated bourbon.
Wheated bourbon.
It's still more than 51% corn or 50% corn.
Batch 7, bottled by
But that means there's...
Sarah?
Does that mean there's just a meaningful amount of wheat in this bourbon?
It's instead of rye, there's wheat.
Right, so
That makes a wheated bourbon.
So there's an absence of rye and wheat. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, that's what, Larceny, the Pappy Van Winkle bottles, all the one I like, the Blade and Bow, those are all wheated bourbons.
Is there bourbons that have the corn requirement and then wheat and the other thing you're saying,
rye
and barley?
Yes. All 4?
All of it.
Yeah, we tried one. It was called 80 Laws 4 grains. Like a bear trap, that mind.
Steel trap.
So this is 5+-year-old whiskey that they are making themselves in West Virginia. Not sourcing.
It's like a candied cherry. I almost get like a cherry Robitussin. Mm-hmm. Yeah. On the aftertaste.
Oh, on the taste.
Yeah.
The smell is a little sweeter than that. To me, it's bready.
Yes. Yeah, the smell is a lot lighter and sweeter. On the taste, you get a lot more character than you were expecting.
They're using a number 4 char, a heavier char.
Mm-hmm. But I definitely
And I don't know what proof they're putting it in, but it is sweet.
I get that
pulling wood sugar.
That candied artificial cherry, and then what else am I getting in here?
I like it.
I got cinnamon.
Yeah, totally cinnamon.
Yeah.
So they said one of the things they always get is pecan pie.
Pecan pie. Well, that was got a little cinnamon, I think.
Yeah.
Or nutmeg or something.
Yeah, but you could see how it could be like a dessert pie.
No, it's a dessert whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dessert whiskey.
Okay, now let's try the other one. You ready?
What was the proof on this, by the way?
150,000.
So it's 50% alcohol.
I was close.
100 proof.
It doesn't taste high proof.
I could go 50%. Like character is this isn't as light as it is on the nose. On the taste, you get that full body of all of these flavors.
Okay, this one I'm really interested in.
But
this is something I wanted to try.
That's cherry.
This is something I wanted to try, and then they did it. We're still gonna try it. Mm-hmm.
Save some ideas for us, damn it.
This is blended, and what they took was a 5-year-old barrel and a 9-year-old, and they mixed them.
5-year-old barrel and a 9-year-old barrel.
Both bourbon. One of them was a rye bourbon, and one of them was a bourbon from Tennessee sourced. One of the barrels they used is new oak and one is reused oak. The cool thing about this is it should be really nice and subtle because it's mixing a bourbon from new oak and a bourbon aged in used oak together, which is why it's called American whiskey. That's really gross. 53.5%. Stop. I will cut a man right now.
I'm gonna get that fight to the death. It's happening. I think we should shoot videos in the morning.
You know what this reminds me of? I used to work in a bakery. Mornings are a little bit better. End of the day, everything's kind of gone wrong and off the rails and not according to plan. And people are f***ing with you.
But the thing with morning, like with the breakfast whiskey,
it does kind of change the whole day.
Like the energy is so much better.
Yeah.
We know we're gonna have more fun. We're not super tired. But it does change the trajectory for your day.
Of the rest of the things we do for a living.
Right.
Yeah.
So are we trying to have fun or are we trying to earn a living?
Yeah. Today's earn a living, which means that the video is going to be slightly lower energy. So I used to work in a bakery, and only around Easter we would do hot cross buns.
Oh, here we go. I'm getting it now.
Hot cross buns. Yeah. And that's essentially a fruit bread with cream cheese frosting on it. That's the quickest way to explain it. A fruit bread, little bun, sweet roll basically, with a cream cheese frosting on it. So. And that's what I'm getting. A sweetened candied fruit, bready notes, and that slight frosting sweetness.
So I'm getting a light oak and honey. Not young, not thin, but light. It feels like these are developed notes.
Oh my God, that tastes so good.
Developed notes on the nose. But they're just not punching me in the nose. They're there and they smell really nice.
Dude, Smooth Ambler is quickly joining
light oak,
High West,
and honey.
And a handful of other small craft distillers that are creating really interesting, magnificent whiskeys on my list. It reminds me, it's Michter's American with a little spice added.
It's a little spice. And you're probably getting a bit less of like a raspberry cherry type up there. This is 53.5%.
Oh man, that's good.
107 proof.
That's good. It's
good. Honestly, I really like these flavors.
Right.
But I feel like I've had these flavors before in, bear with me, budget whiskeys.
Okay.
That were close to greatness.
Oh, just right on the edge.
Occasionally we get budget whiskeys and we're like, oh man, there's something that really wants to be in here.
It's so good,
but they proofed it down. They proofed it down.
These guys did not proof it down.
They didn't proof it down. And I've had these notes in, dare I say, budget whiskeys, but I think these are what the notes that could have been in some of the budgets.
They're a little more rounded out.
Yeah, so I think it was Casper. He's in the community. I was just browsing through a bunch of comments and he said bottom shelf matters, but not all bottom shelf is the same.
Yeah, that's
true. Yeah. So there's definitely some.
We've had some bottom shelf that was like, whoa, I'm not finishing that.
There's certainly some gems in there, but occasionally in the bottom shelf we'll find some stuff like, damn, that has tremendous potential. I wish they wouldn't have proofed it down because I think this is something it could have been if they weren't going for maximum dollars. Yeah.
This is a weird one. We're gonna finish with a weird one. This is from Robert Brace. These guys are in Texas. Louisville actually. For the life of me, I cannot, anywhere on their website, do they explain what they're actually doing. They just talk circles of pretty words. So all around and around and around.
You know what? You set this up perfectly. I was having a conversation with the mods for our newest community on Reddit. We launched, I think it was last weekend. We got like 1,700 people over a weekend. We were supposed to only get like 700 or 800. Like I had a pretty good idea of the number of people who were in the tribe but couldn't bring themselves to do Facebook. It was about 700 or 800. We ended up on Reddit trending. Like the homepage of Reddit, when the trending, we were there for like a day or two. So we got double what we were expecting, which was amazing. One of the things I floated to the mods, I'm floating it to you now.
All right.
Based on the platform, it's always smart to kind of lean into the strengths of that platform. And whereas Facebook is all about supporting each other and connections and just kind of, hanging out and having fun, Reddit is a lot more about highlighting the quality of the contribution. It's less about bonding and it's more about rising to the surface just the best contribution, the best post.
Whoever has something interesting to actually
Yes.
say.
Yes, and one of the things that I think would be really fun in the Whiskey Tribe Reddit is to basically have the research team, the whiskey research team, right?
Yeah.
So we choose we'll start off with a whiskey. Say, hey guys, this week this whiskey's coming up in an upcoming episode.
Can you post a thread with a single focus inside of our Reddit?
And then everybody.
I've never used Reddit.
No,
or been on Reddit or whatever. How do you?
What is a Reddit?
I've never Reddited.
What is a Reddit?
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll do.
So this is the first one.
We'll sticky. Is this it?
This is it.
No. This is already on the show. You want to circle back?
I want to circle back and figure out what the hell's going on with this thing.
Okay.
So they're in Louisville, Texas. I don't know if they're making whiskey.
Okay.
I am 90% sure they're not.
Okay.
90% sure they're sourcing their whiskey.
Right.
Then they take the whiskey. They do what they say is their patented procedure, which is they take a piece of oak, spiral it, char it, and drop it into the bottle. So it's actually getting darker. Look, the longer we let this sit here, the longer that piece of wood.
There's a piece of
wood. There's a piece of wood in the bottle.
There's a piece of wood. Holy crap. Interesting. Okay. This is a worthy thing because you can't find information.
Yeah.
All right. We'll do a sticky in the Reddit there.
And they call this a Rye Inspire.
So the magnificent bastards that go exploring and dig up some good information that's not easily Googleable, we'll do some kind of special shout out.
Hey, call the distillery or something.
We'll do something.
Maybe they'll tell you their secrets.
Whatever it takes.
Okay, so they're sourcing whiskey. And this is a rye.
And Reddit's the platform where people can upvote the best contributions, and we're going to take the best stuff and we'll present it on the show.
Yes.
Inside and out.
Okay, so here's what I will tell you.
A worthy whiskey.
Remember, our rule is if it tastes good, then fuck it. They got there, right? But I am really annoyed that it's after hours of research, I'm no closer to figuring out what the hell is going on here. It's all just pretty words.
So you told me something whenever I was kind of floating ideas of different kinds of things we could do in our distillery.
Weird.
And whenever it came to actually having things in the bottle that aren't like grain and water and whatever, then you need to get like FDA approval.
Well, no, if it's consumable.
Well, this wood is not consumable.
No, it is. That technically, they would have to have qualified for that somehow.
So this has FDA approval, supposedly?
Well, I mean, in theory.
I don't know.
Until someone jumps their
research team.
We don't really know.
It'll be a Reddit sticky. Let's see what we can come up with.
So this is essentially, think of this, as far as I can tell, as a sourced rye, probably an MGP. A sourced rye with a chunk of oak stuck in the bottle.
Let's give notes on this
when we actually review it. I'm just saying, think of it. All I want to know is, do you like it or not?
I do. I like it.
That's a freakishly mellow rye. That's just no sharp edges.
No, I like it.
Yeah, kind of drinkable.
All right, was this the last one?
That was the last one.
Awesome.
Can we be done now?
Man, I can't carry you that far.
It's Friday.
I have a job too.
Yeah, just one though.
Hey, we didn't fight to the death.
That's true. Next week.
No. Right now. All right, so we fast forwarded. This is 45 minutes later because I knocked his ass out.
Oh, okay. I'm awake now,
Ow.
evidently.
Just like a little bitch.
I'm wearing sunglasses to cover up my black eye.
Yeah. Because of my raw power.
Your raw power, and all you did was give me a black eye. All right, here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
Fight me, fight for a friend.
If you steal me, you steal a lover's heart.
You drink.
May you drink with us.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us in the Whiskey Vault. Don't forget to throw in a like, hit that subscribe button on the bottom right, and drop a question or comment down below.